Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Roadbike Rangers. Today I'm going to show you a quick and cheap bike cleaning if you're short on time or just lazy. Why should you clean your bike? So first of all, it makes you faster. A clean drive chain will shift faster, and a clean bike will also make sure that your brake system will stop you quicker. Also, your bike will last longer. You will increase with a clean bike your life cycle, which results in saving money because your bike just lasts longer and you don't have to spend new money on new parts. You're always up to date. You know if there are any things that needs to be exchanged, or if there are any broken parts, or if there are any cuts. And personally, I like a clean and fresh bike. It makes me feel better, and maybe I believe I'm faster with it. But you also don't want to meet up with dirty shoes, right? So let's get started. Yeah, so first thing first, we need a bucket that holds our hot water. We need a sponge. You can use a car sponge to get rid of all the dirt from the bike. Then maybe a sponge or a towel that can get dirty for the drive chain. And of course, towels and sponges for the clean part. I personally use eco-friendly cleaner for the household. You don't need special bike cleaner, that's just a waste of money, but this doesn't attack any surfaces and materials. Then you need a bike degreaser or W40, and of course lubricant for the end, and maybe a toothbrush, or like I have a little brush for the drive chain.
Yeah, now we use WD-40 as a degreaser. So with that, we get rid of the old oil and clean the cassette. And let it soak for 10 minutes, use a lot, don't be picky. And now we're turning the crank a little bit to just spread the degreaser all over the chain.
So after we place the lubricant on the cassette, we can start with our hot water and our soap and the sponge to generously wash the bike from the top to the bottom. Next off, take off the wheels and get rid of the black wrap that comes from the brake system. With that step, we also clean the brakes in general and the rims. While cleaning your bike, make sure you never place your bike with the shifter on the ground, because this is just never good with sensitive parts and heavy pressure. And then generously go over the wheels, so the brakes and the tires, to get rid of that dirt that you picked up on the road. So now we're back at the cassette where we started with, and now we can see that it's rather black from all that oil and dirt. And if we go over it now with the sponge, we can see that the degreaser made a good job. And now you can see that the cassette is actually silver and shiny, and this is how it usually should look like. So now that we cleaned the bike and the tires, it's time for the brake system and drive chain. So as I said before, we trying to use our dirty sponge and then really generously go over all these parts here. The last step is now to rinse off all the soap we just put on the bike. Yeah, you perfectly do that with a garden hoe, and if you don't have one, you can just fill up your bucket. Now we take a dry towel, or I use a microfiber towel, and just go generally over the bike to just clean off the main parts, and the rest you can just let it dry. It won't hurt the bike. When everything is dry, go a second time over the drive chain and make sure there's really no dirt left. I don't have the time to wait now, that's why I'm gonna dry it up here as well. And as you can see, there's still a bunch of grease on it. And now you can see that the drivetrain, so the cassette, the chain, the derailleur and the shifter, that everything is silver again instead of dark gray. Now we're gonna lube it a little bit. I personally use a wet lube right now because we're in the Netherlands and it's raining here a lot, but you can also use a dry lube for rather dry conditions. If you don't have any lube at home, you can also use WD-40 as lubricant again. It's just an all-time saver. You can also oil the shifter with it. But make sure that there's no lubricant or oil coming on your rims or on your discs, whatever you're riding, because this will heavily impact your braking power. So the questions of the questions is, how often should you do this? And this depends, of course, how often you're riding and what season we have right now. But in general, you should go with your gut feelings. When you see that the drive chain, drain or the braking system is dirty, you of course should clean it because these are safety parts. So in the winter with wet conditions and the coldness and a lot of salt on the roads, which attacks all these materials and parts, I would do it more often, around about every 50 kilometers. So maybe after every bike ride even. And in the summer season, when it's dry and there's not much dirt on the roads, I would do it once in 2 weeks. Yeah, depends on what you prefer. Yeah, and that's it. That was a quick and cheap bike cleaning if you're short on time. And yeah, if you have any questions, let us know. And see you in the next episode. Cheers!